It is 2 hours to New Year's in Aura Kingdom. I have how many dragon points left to farm? As usual, it is the end of the month and my dragon points are lacking. I haven't even finished a single round, but that's my life. This is who I am. So, I think 2 hours is plenty of time, and then we can head over to Navia and enjoy the fireworks, because I know where to find them this year. But such is life. Goodness, it's been a day, that's for sure. I woke up early, decided that I was going to try and finish, or rather, it's mostly my fault, but I didn't finish my my radio show episode yesterday like I was supposed to, and there's no one to blame but myself. So I woke up early and I just knocked it out. I sat down and I finished absolutely everything, only to find that I'd made a bit of a mistake. So that was fun. Too late to fix it too. And you know what else is interesting? It's sometimes very hard to find who to credit for a piece of music. I worked really hard to try and get the exact composer for every song that I used, and I cannot confirm who wrote a specific song. Well, actually, there was two that had vague composers, so that was interesting too. But regardless, that is finished and out, and so then I thought to myself, okay, well, I'll take a nap so that I can get ready for the New Year's, and maybe stay up till midnight. But nope, I just stared at the ceiling. So then I thought, well, I'll do my, I'll ask my friend if they want to do the Bond Dungeon run early, since I'm so awake. And immediately, as soon as we started the Bond Dungeon runs, I ended up getting tired, because that's what we normally do before bed. And then, my friend and I were planning on having a takeout for dinner. And the restaurant we wanted to go to, we only just checked now, they closed at noon today. So they were already closed. Nothing but setbacks today, that's for sure. Oh, my regular dragon points are even capped on this character too. Yes, Flinko, I did slack all month, but in my defense, I did overtime, I did the radio show, and Christmas and whatnot. Yes, there's a lot of things going on in December. But yeah, there's no way I'm actually going to try and do 2 loops. I'm going to take it a little easy, and we're only going to do about 80,000. Well, 72,000 is all I need now. And I added some new music to the playlist from the radio show, actually, but... Well, we'll see if we get to it. How long is the playlist now anyway? I think it's over 12 hours. Well, I mean, it's definitely over 12 hours, because I started setting it up when I was doing the 12-hour streams. Yes, Plinko Frog is on the playlist. 100%. Although, like, the playlist itself is over... I think it's over 14 hours total now. Will it tell me the duration in VLC? I don't think it will. No, I think when it's media, it'll, like, when it's like videos, it'll tell you, but when you've got this much stuff in there, it doesn't tell you how long the playlist is. Oh, if it comes on, share a frog in World Chat. I can do that. It's just a question of whether or not it comes on, eh? Do I even have a frog here right now? Oh, I don't. Alright, well, this we have to check something. A couple characters do have frogs. Frog. Hey, Seojia! Oh, gosh. Yeah, doing those Bond dungeons before was probably a bad idea. I just thought we should get it out of the way and then I could focus on the dragon points and taking it easy here. But every day I do it before bed, so now I'm drowsy. Nothing that a cup of coffee can't help with. You might have noticed that I only have 1 cup of coffee on my table today. That's because I tidied up. Had to run the dishwasher. Don't worry, we'll give it a bit. I'm gonna add a couple. I think I was thinking of adding one every time I finish a character at the Gaia. So I can so I can keep track of how many I've done. And if we have enough time, I'm thinking, ideally, I also want to try running the Abyss of Light again on my gunner for an actual challenge. I got my hands on some goodies. Now, is a Gigapede Ramen better than a Navia Feast in terms of like buffing damage? Because I know that Navia Feast has the experience buff, so I was wondering whether or not the Gigapede is actually better but just for damage. I gotta see them side by side, because I got my hands on a Gigapede Ramen, and I think that might be the step that it takes to be able to get through. Because yeah, I actually still haven't beaten it. Oh, Lake Light Turquoise. I think the music might be a little on the quiet side, so I'm going to turn it up for this quiet song, but I adore this track. You know, I was thinking about skipping this mode, because it's only 94 points per Eidolon. So I used all of my RC from the weekly reset on the table from yesterday because like some tiny part of me was thinking, given how much I'd rolled on it, I should have been relatively, I know it's not how it works, but it felt like I should have been relatively close to getting something good. But instead, all I did was I kept taking those, the Eidolon food. And you can see I stocked up too much of it. I've got a bunch left in here, but I'm done feeding Eidolons. They are all 80 now. I had a bunch of old ones that were around 70. And I fed them all up. So I am completely fresh out of Eidolons to give food to. And I'm gonna need a bajillion rings to finish 4-starring everybody. This table doesn't even have rings, does it? No. I don't know, these bunny weapons are a little too cute for my taste. I don't know. I know you should be, I feel like you shouldn't roll a Paragon table specifically aiming for a really rare item when you're only using the free-to-play accessible Ruby coins. But I did kind of want Dionysus. Oh, hello, Dekina. I just... I don't know, do you... Cute or cool? I don't know. It's a little bit too cute and not cool enough. Maybe that's the best way to phrase it. Sorry. Just some things they just... yeah. Anyway, 1 character down. There's a way to tell the playlist length, but it might only work if you use the playlist that it has preset. Now I know I can see it in iTunes, but I actually moved my music out of iTunes for playing because for some reason, and I have no idea why, but just like all of a sudden it started like skipping while playing music as if it's too busy. Yeah, totally. I know exactly what you're talking about, Plinko, because I see the screenshot in Discord. That is what I was looking for, but for some reason, I see that all the time when I load videos into VLC, but when I loaded the music in today, it didn't show. So I thought it might be that the number of tracks was too long, like it had way too many tracks and it was taking too long to calculate. Playlist? I don't know if I just... Oh, no, you're right. It totally does show it now. It was just calculating. It says 14 hours. So I was about right that it was for a little over 12 hours. Anyway, Noon, this is my lady that will be challenging the Abyss if we get there. Oh. So I got my hands on a Gigapede ramen. Definitely didn't just steal it from Scrub. Nope, don't do that on this account. But yeah, oh, right, and a coffee. I should add another coffee because we're on our second character. Right there. There we are. 2 characters, second coffee. Oh, interesting. Drag all them in. Yeah, actually the way I do it is I open VLC and then I just click and drag everything from my iTunes playlist into VLC. It works. But it does make me, well, the only reason I got this floating box thing with the album art was there. Oh, hey, Vanriel! Thanks for stopping by! We were just complaining about music sorting methods. You know, I like the way that iTunes does like management for files because of the way that the playlists and whatnot work, and I really like the way that works, but VLC I can make this cute box thing, and also it doesn't apparently skip. It's almost like the iTunes is trying to load too much data at once and is just not able to play the music smoothly, or low quality streaming when the files are actually on my computer. No idea. Anyway, I keep a close eye on this thing. I'm actually a lot closer than I expected. Last night I thought to myself, oh, yes, Vanriel, iTunes. This is, I'm not like an Apple fangirl or anything. Like, I wouldn't get into a fight with somebody saying that Apple is better. But when I first started listening to music, I got an iPod, like most people my age, like, you know, the ones with the scroll wheels and whatnot. So you had to use iTunes to sort your music. So like basically for gosh, how long? Wait, when did I get my iPod? Well, it was in high school. So since high school, I've been slowly amassing a large catalog of music and carefully like stowing it away in folders on my hard drive. And then I use iTunes to make the playlists, and I use like keywords in the comments to automatically sort them into extra playlists and whatnot. So I find iTunes to be really good at getting to what I want to hear and sorting it out and being able to find stuff. When did iTunes come out? Oh, iPod Classics, 100%. I loved my iPod Classic. And the hard drives on those things were intense. The fact that they actually are comparable to the iPhones today is what's depressing, right? Like, come on, Apple, figure yourselves out, right? But once I kind of had over a decade of really liking the way that it worked for sorting music, it just... trying to make playlists manually in other programs just feels clunky, and I'm sure there's good ones. I just haven't used them. And I still have an iPhone for like, because that's what does the face tracking for my model. So, I mean, I'm still gonna use iTunes to sort my music, because I'm sure as heck not just streaming everything. I still have my iPod Touch that I had in grade 12. I love that thing. It still works. Some days when I just want music, no internet. I mean, it is connected to the internet, but I just want music. I don't want text messages. I don't want nothing. I just want music. I can still use that. But I actually shattered the screen. You actually had a Zune, Plinko? Holy, I don't know anybody that had a Zune. Did they? Isn't that the one that had the music sharing thing where you could share a song, but they could only play it 3 times, or keep it for 3 days total if they don't listen to it? And they called it something really dumb. Napster. Oh gosh, we used LimeWire, I want to say. Old piracy stuff. Gosh, when it comes to old piracy, though, you could actually get some weird stuff because people would put popular songs in, but then be actually a different file. There's definitely no way we paid for LimeWire. Was it actually paid? Do you have a pirated copy of LimeWire on our childhood computer? Oh gosh, the same computer that I would sit back and play with, like those oh gosh, those doll dress up websites where it was just like a gif of a body, and you'd click and drag movable gifs of clothing onto it. And we had pirated LimeWire on it. I was back in the get off the internet, I need to use the phone, or get off the phone, I need to use the internet days. Oh man. Your copy of In the End from Linkin Park is still the one from Eris? That's amazing. I love that. I don't think I ever moved any files from our like family PC to my personal PC when I eventually got one, so I don't think I actually have any traces. Yeah, because I would have had no way to. I don't have any traces of the evil that I did as a young child who didn't know better. Hey Josie, Happy New Year! Is it already the new year where you are? Oh gosh, I'm just trying to think. You know what? I think I do have some traces of the old piracy because my dad burned some movies for us. And I think it was a bunch of Ghibli stuff. So technically, I still have those CDs with those pirated copies of those movies. Oh, and I even know where they are. I bet you they're like 480p. And then we got depressed because you couldn't play it on a DVD players. MC Anime. I don't know that I ever watched on that website because it doesn't ring a bell. But I do remember when Crunchyroll wasn't legitimate. And also, gosh, I found a website that you could watch anime in parts on, but if you played it on your Wii, like if you used the Wii browser to log in, it didn't play advertisements. Like the ads wouldn't load using the Wii browser. So I would watch anime on my TV via this weird website using the Wii browser as well. I remember those days too. Alright, that's it. We're done. You're totally done. Next character. And another cup of coffee. Yeah, 10-minute F segments. MC Anime was a lot older. It was a forum that had links to Mega Upload. Okay, I actually I didn't download anime until way later. Here we are, 3. I'm going to Philosophia. But yeah, 100%. And I remember watching Bleach in 3 parts per episode on YouTube. Yeah, Bleach in 3 parts on YouTube. That's good. That's like a core memory for me. Because I remember there was one summer, the summer that I stopped watching Bleach, where literally every episode for the entire summer was filler. And I just got so mad. I said, nope. I quit and I never watched Bleach again. I can't even imagine what 3 of 3 is gonna be. Bad times. It was bad times. Nowadays, piracy websites are sometimes even better than real ones. Oh gosh, I don't know if I want to date myself, but I actually don't remember too much about it. However, I betcha it was, because something about the word vampire and Bleach just like... a warning siren went off in my head, like something horrible happened and I don't want to remember. Oh gosh, that was ages ago. $100% YouTube was miserable at recommending the next episode. So you'd have to you'd be on part 1 of 1. It would suggest part 3 of 3 and part 1 of 3 for the next episode or something. And you'd have to fuss around for part 2. And sometimes I just literally couldn't find it. Yep, you remember exactly the same thing that I do, Plinko. Good to know that that was a universal thing and not just me. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I don't know that I've ever actually played any of the Castlevania games. I don't think so. Hold on, let me Google it just to be sure. Oh. Where's my internet browser? Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You know, it's interesting because we actually had a PlayStation. The only 2 consoles we had, when we were really little, were a PlayStation and a ColecoVision. We never did ever have a PlayStation 2. So the fact that this was for PlayStation, it's kind of... Oh, but then again, technically the PlayStation belonged to my brother, and that doesn't really look like the kind of game that he'd play. So that does make sense, the reason why we wouldn't have it. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, I put chat over here so I didn't have to crane my neck the whole time. The Bounto arc caused me to have an argument with a friend because they insisted it wasn't filler, and said Fred refused to read the source material because they didn't like manga. Well, then that's their problem. But it was probably filler because of the way that my memory is trying to repress whatever the Vampire Bounto arc means. I'm trying to remember what games we had on the ColecoVision, because I'm sure PlayStation games are a lot more nostalgic for people. But I remember the games. I just don't remember what they were called. There was this one that was like a tire made out of rock and it rolled along. Oh, the anime almost caught up to the manga, so they added an extra arc. Yep, no, that's what they do because they have to, or they want to keep airing, right? Isn't that basically the same reason why the original Full Metal Alchemist anime kind of went, like, weird, I guess I should say? The Full Metal Alchemist anime went weird. That I have just these such strong memories of walking in part way through the movie The Conquerors of Shambhala or whatever it was called, and there's just like real world, and it's like, hold on a minute, wait, what? I wonder. Actually, I don't know a ton about how that ended up going. Was that written by somebody else? Or did they get the original author to quickly pen something down that they could animate? I mean, to be fair, they at least gave it an ending, right? Or would it have, or do you think it would have been better if they had just stopped? I mean, it wasn't their choice. It was that it was making money and they had to keep going, right? Okay, where are we at? Oh my gosh, cam versions. It wasn't available anywhere, and when it was available, it was a cam rip. Yikes. Cam rips are. I think you'd have to be pretty desperate. You'd have to be pretty desperate to watch a cam rip. That's, Oh gosh, what movie was it recently that I kept waiting for the disc to release because the only version that was available online was just a cam rip? Oh, a cam rip of only the second half. Well, of course it was the second half. They would have been caught if they'd started right at the beginning. One Piece had the same problem just now, and they decided to stop airing the anime for a good while to let the manga run a few more tomes. Well, I mean, it's probably better than, for such a long-running series, it's probably better that they did that. Especially with how dear it is to a lot of people's hearts. And, yes, it was the Colorful Stage movie. That's the one I was thinking of. Blinko. That never ever really did get released on DVD. Was it just online, maybe? You know, I didn't know much, and actually still don't know much, is about One Piece. Because I've already watched one over 1,000 episode long anime, and I can't do it again. I could never do it again. But the thing is that I was kind of. I don't want to use the word repulsed because that sounds a lot stronger than what I mean, but just what I saw from clips didn't make me feel like it was interesting to would have been interesting to watch. And then nowadays, when you hear the discourse about about One Piece, especially the way that it's being brought up in actual movements in the real world, it kind of makes me regret that I never gave it the chance that it deserved. Japan is going back to cassette tapes. Gosh, oh my gosh. So actually on my desk right here, I have a pin. It is like a plastic little pin. Like that you could put on your clothes. And it's got a headphone jack on it. Because it will play 15 songs from the Legend of Zelda games. They're kind of like field music tracks, and it includes even like music from the very first games, like the very first Legend of Zelda and the second one. So it's just like beeps and boops and whatnot. But yeah, it's just a little play button that you can, it's got volume controls and playback and even an equalizer for some reason on the back. And when I was doing my radio show, the version of Hyrule Field that I wanted to use is the version on this here pin, which you can't see, but I'm holding it up and it's... So I had to use a line in from my physical object with digital memory in it to get the song that I wanted. And I actually do have a small collection of CDs because I like having those physical representations of the media. However, I think Japan has gone pretty crazy in terms of like the Blu-rays, because you'll look at them and it'll be like 2 episodes on a disc, and then the disc will cost like $50 or more. Because they're only aiming at like the super hardcore audience, right? Oh shoot, I'm just realizing now that I don't think I ate all my LP on the other characters. One Piece is a turn off your brain and just chill type of show. I don't know if that's necessarily true based on the readings that I've been seeing recently. Maybe closer to the beginning, and that's what the reason why I didn't really get into it when it was in its let's say origin state when it started. And apparently new kids like physical media more too, and it will have some kind of renaissance. I hope so. I really do. Yeah, I get really worried when I see stuff like those the key cards for the Switch 2. I don't have a Switch 2, but I get worried when I see that, because even then you wouldn't be able to play the game once the servers are down, right? I am gonna skip Atosh. We're gonna go to the other midday. Actually, I bet you an abridged version of One Piece might be exactly the kind of thing that I would enjoy a lot. I might have to look for that. Now, that being said, hold on a second, I gotta get another coffee in here. Coffee. A sip of coffee, and then I do a cup of coffee. Oh yeah, now we're going. Actually, we gotta be pretty close, right? It's been going for half an hour. Yeah, we can take a chill. Right, physical media. So I was thinking about how... I've got games for my PlayStation Portable that are digital, right? So I've got digital games for my PlayStation Portable that are loaded onto the memory chips for them that are like proprietary and you can't buy for any reasonable amount of money if you're trying to get like official ones. I don't even know how strong they are. Like, I don't know how resilient they are, or if they've got a battery in them that'll give up and then I'll just lose them. Yeah, my PlayStation Portable. There is a song that I really, 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 really want to get off of one of my PlayStation Portable games. The memory cards for PlayStation Portable is what I was specifically talking about. So, like, I've got... Gosh, it was ages ago. There was a sale on the Japanese PlayStation Portable store where you could get some of the really old Japanese-only Tales of games for, like, 400 yen. Yeah, there you go. They're flash memory, so they'll break down eventually. Of course they will. So I have 800 yen worth of games that I don't know any other way that I could play them legitimately. But basically, it was a sale for 400 yen. Well, I've got them backed up on my computer, right? But once it's really up to me now, right? The store is long since gone, even in Japan, so I can't download them anymore. I have them backed up to my computer. I should probably back them up to another place. In fact, I kind of want to get a new hard drive to do a really solid backup of all of my writing right now, too. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Vanriel, is that I couldn't order these games from Japan because by the time I wanted to play them, I don't know if they even had disc versions available. I'm talking like, oh gosh, which ones? Tales of Rebirth and Tales of Eternia. So I'm pretty sure they were PlayStation games that got I thought they shut down the Japanese store as well. I thought they did. I could be wrong about that, but I remember being very upset about it and taking the opportunity to do a really thorough backup of all of my data for them. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if I lost those files or if something happened to the memory cards because it's not like well, I mean, like PlayStation Portable emulators, they're a thing, right? I wouldn't feel bad about emulating a game that I literally own. Now, the song that I'd like to get off of my PlayStation Portable and onto my computer is from a one that I have on a disc. So at the very least, that is. Are the discs volatile memory too? I mean, they don't have battery in them, but like, does the disc itself wear down and degrade? I'm sure it does. I actually saw a post on Twitter the other day where someone mentioned that the prices of 3DSs were going up. And somebody replied in the comments, you've probably got 2 more years until all the game cartridges are all dead, and that's like, oh great, another thing that I have to worry about is all my DS games. Banana peel? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to explain what that means, Vanrio. And Plinko, I assume that's the name of a PlayStation Portable emulator or something there? Use the banana peel inside on the disc, then clean lightly? I'm sorry, what does that do? It makes a worn disc run like new, but like, if it's breaking down, that wouldn't help, would it? Like, I'm thinking about how, you know, how sometimes old controllers have that weird oily plasticky breakdown because it's turning back into oil. Don't discs do that too, or is it... I can't imagine that they would never. I don't know if I want to start putting all these weird, mysterious fixes onto discs for games that I'm fairly confident I wouldn't be able to replace. Hold on a second, let me quickly Google something. Tales of the World, Radiant Mythology 3. Shopping. Oh hey, you could buy it pre-owned for 20 bucks on eBay. That's not bad. Okay, so it's not anywhere near as hard to get as I would have expected. Is there like a best of version in Japan that is super cheap or anything? No, it doesn't look like they did that. I don't know, I guess I'm just kind of... Oh shoot, did I go on the wrong side? I don't usually fight Gigas. I'm scared now. I'm about to fight my worst nightmare, aren't I? No, I still don't think I'd be super comfortable putting banana onto my discs, especially since I don't even like banana. I'd have to literally go out of my way and get a banana. Banana. Oh, this is solo mode, right? Yeah, so I won't die that hard on Sigrun. It should be fine. Oh, I was just I opened up the Google shop result, like Google shopping result for Tales of the World Radiant Mythology. And like a novel series popped up. I had no idea there was a novel series for it. Wait, what the heck is this? Tales of the World at Radiant Mythology 3, The Beginning Trajectory Reservation? What on earth is... I have no idea what I'm looking at now. There's just a bunch of weird things also called Radiant Mythology in here. Oh, Dekina, the thing that would concern me about toothpaste is that when toothpaste has abrasives in it, so wouldn't it cause more problems? I'm not so much worried about physical damage, especially for PlayStation Portable discs, because the PlayStation Portable discs have those cases, right? And I took good care of mine. Oh gosh, that actually reminds me of another story, though. So, when I was younger... Oh, what game was it? It was... I want to say it was the Diablo 2 expansion disc. It suddenly shattered inside the disk drive of the computer. And we had borrowed it from somebody back in the days when you could actually borrow games from people. I know it's wild. But yeah, so the disc inside the disk drive shattered. And my parents thought that I got mad. I don't even know why they thought it was me, but they thought I got mad, broke the disc into shards, and then placed them all back into the tray, closed it, and tried to pretend that I didn't do anything. That's what my parents thought I did. And I was so mad. I was very mad because absolutely under no circumstances would I have done that. Like, if I had anger issues, fine. But the pettiness to, like, reconstruct the disk inside the disk drive at risk of harming the computer, that is like a level of petty that I cannot envision. I was so mad. And they were mad because they had to buy a new copy of the disc to give back to the person that we had borrowed it from. Fair enough. Everybody was mad. Yeah, the patience necessary, like, oh my gosh. But then, later, when I actually did get really mad, and I was like, all right, now I have to prove that literally no matter how mad I am, I could not do the thing that they were accusing me of doing. I pulled out the disc and tried to show them that when you bend a disc, it does not snap. It just bends. So I was very mad. I took the replacement Diablo 2 disc and I bent it because I wanted to show them that discs do not snap in the hands of a small angry child. They bend. I'm sorry, I just thinking about discs and damage. Oh gosh, that's I can't believe they thought. Sometimes disks shatter inside drives. That's just a thing that happens every once in a while, I have to assume, because it happened to us, and it was not me. Freaking Diablo 2 expansion. Now, my other memory about Diablo 2 expansion was my brother tried to download a map hack, but it was a fake one. And when you started up the game in online mode, your character ran around randomly and just dropped everything they owned, and that was what the people that made the map hack, the fake map hack, programmed in. The good old days. All right, next character. Is what I would say, but I think I actually need to take a short break here because my dinner has arrived. So I'm just going to quickly go grab some dinner and be right back. So just a moment. Oh, were you admiring my no-lifedness? So on my front page, I have my first 3 level 40s and all the little cuties that I got in the server merge. Then on my second, I have everybody else who was already awakened. You can really tell which ones I don't play, though. Now, that being said, I have Korean fried chicken for dinner now, so I really hope that we're not going to get some kind of eating ASMR going here, but it's only going to stay crunchy for a certain amount of time, so it's going to be there. Ah. Well, then, Riel, that's a testament to the amount of grass that has been touched. Yeah, I've got Korean fried chicken and an order of golden cheese fries. Mm. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. That's delicious. These quiet songs don't really even show up in the background music, do they? And we need another cup of coffee. Here we go. All right. We continue. Where did the chat window go? OBS, where'd you put it? Oh, there it is. If I go outside most of the time, it's for a new real-life skin or a tattoo. You know, I'd actually really like to get a tattoo. I already know what I'd like to get. But, and I don't know if this is stereotyping, but I kind of wanted to wait until after I got the chance to go back to Japan before I did. Because I wasn't sure whether or not there's still a stigma around being able to use like onsen and stuff with tattoos. And well, this in 2026, I'm finally going to visit Japan. It's my first real big vacation since 2010, so I'm very excited. And then after I get back, I can finally start worrying about the tattoo. Shoot, I lost the window for the chat again. There we go. Now it's back. Oh my gosh, while I'm in Japan, I think the hardest thing is going to be trying to decide what makes an appropriate amount of things to bring back. Because I feel like I already could easily make a list of stuff, and that's probably a bad way to start. Oh shoot, I forgot if I minimize that, it vanishes on the screen too. Dekina, I do feel like I should ask though. Ideally, I'd like to get a tattoo on my back shoulder. If you've got one there, is that a particularly painful spot? Vandriel? A Beyblade fan, eh? I think when I was younger, we went to like the flea market and we got some knockoff Beyblades with like the metal parts in them, the kind that could hurt people. And we had a lot of fun with those too, but I was never super like into the lore. I just thought spinning tops, angry, painful blades, fun times. Yep. Oh. Well, I can imagine they would be. Personally, I'm imagining going into like a secondhand bookstore and perusing the comics section and trying to fill in some gaps in my collection. There's a couple books that I'd like to bring back for sure. And books aren't super expensive, but holy crap, is shipping insane. I actually ordered a couple books from Japan because they're like middlingly old, like they're from the late 2010s and whatnot, so I'm worried that they'll be kind of hard to try and find. And yeah, sure, you can get, what, I got 6 books for like, what, 45 bucks Canadian? Like the prices are super reasonable because the yen's down. But then you go to shipping, and the shipping alone is 40 bucks. For the cheapest option. Oh yeah, we're doing fine. We got 15k left to go. So I should probably focus on getting a little bit of food inside me, a little more than actually working on this, because we have plenty of time for the Abyss of Light. Hello, Alec, and Happy New Year's to you as well. We're not quite there yet. They still have an hour and 5 minutes to go for Aura Kingdom time, but is it already 2026 where you are? Sorry, Nate. Actually, we probably only need to do one more character, so I should have picked one that's a little easier than Duelist. I'm sure it's fine. Oh, this is party mode. Oh, sorry, he's got the extra lifesteal, that's why. Hey, hold on. There's another buff item. Is that gonna be better than, I don't think Duelist... I mean, it's a bit clunky, but I think its biggest issue is just the lack of AoE. And now that Bow doesn't have any AoE either... yeah, exactly. Then I remember what they did to Bow. So, I heard in Aura Kingdom Impact, they used pre-rework Bow as the basis for their new version of Bow. So even they acknowledge that the Bow rework is bad. Like, ugh. Listen, I still like Bow. I still like Bow. I need some more time. Closest position to back shoulder is probably upper left arm. Least hurtful spot yet. I don't know, because the upper arm's usually got a bit more meat to it than the back, eh? At least mine does. If the amount of meat on a bone determines how painful a tattoo is. I don't know, I don't have any. Okay, tell me if I'm overthinking this, but because we're going to Japan, me and some friends, going to Japan, we're gonna have a good time, but like, I might be overthinking things like way too much because like, I don't know if this is something that anybody that studies another language has, but there's like this fear in my head that every single thing that I've ever read translated or textbook is actually a lie, and there's a secret other Japanese that people actually speak in Japan. So I keep thinking to myself, I'm gonna try speaking Japanese in Japan and they're just gonna laugh at me like, haha, we got one. Person who thinks that they've been studying Japanese for 15 years. Actually, it's been more than 15 years. Ow. My chicken is gonna get cold. Hold on. Oh yeah, and then the other thing that I'm way overthinking is that I'm trying to pick an appropriate song for karaoke so that I know in advance something I can practice so that I don't make a fool of myself. And if any of them are watching, don't tell the rest of the people that are coming because it's embarrassing, but like... Oh gosh, I once killed a party by singing karaoke, so I have to be very careful. Then again, I did sing Linkin Park, so maybe I just need to not do that and we'll be fine. Where's my chicken? I need chicken to feel better. Midday Idol arc begins. Oh, that's an arc indeed. Yeah, you're not even ready. I think it would it'd be fun. Obviously, it's not something that I'd be able to afford right now, especially with a big trip on the horizon. But I think it would be fun to like hire a professional to like assist me with creating a song, and not even like my own song, but like even just a cover. And I think I know what song I'd pick for that. Well, there's a couple choices that like I've been tossing around in my head, but I can imagine that that would be very expensive, and I've got other expenses I need to take care of first, so not anytime soon. But that would be that's something that I thought would be a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't mind saying it. The song I was thinking of is called Adventure Comet, Boken Seise. The thinner the skin and the more nerves run there, the more it will hurt. Well, that seems pretty self-explanatory. More nerves equals more pain. As for pain tolerance, I don't know what kind of pain tattoos are, so hard to say. I would totally start singing a song right now, but I have my chickens, so maybe a little later, because something that I think nobody here knows anything about is when I was doing the pumpkin hunting. Like, you can see all the pumpkins behind me that I've just never put away. When I was doing pumpkin hunting, I said that if anybody pointed out that I said I would sing the theme to Nod Cry in the next stream, I would, but nobody did, so I didn't have to. But to kind of make up for that, if later my throat isn't feeling too bad after inhaling all of this chicken, I might consider making your ears bleed for a moment. Can I laugh more sinisterly? I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, I think we only need about one more. One more. Hey, Lazarus, Happy New Year to you too. Did it just change over now? Me outing myself for not knowing where Paraguay is. Hold on, I gotta Google something. Oh, it totally is just now. Happy New Year to Paraguay! I hope I said that right. Urihime. Alright, hold on a second. Piece of chicken. Sorry, I had to mute there for a second. I'm sure it's very annoying to hear all the chewing sounds, but it's just really good chicken. That was Duelist, Zaris. It's in both versions of the game, so not in fact, it's one of the original classes that's been in the game since the start. It's just not very popular. It's got very little AoE. Deny us the ASMR. Well, if you want ASMR, no. I was gonna say you could check out my other channel, but it's not what you think. It's the radio show. But if I do say so myself, I think I did a very convincing job with the almost crying in the episode that released today, so I'm pretty proud of that acting. Yeah, so Duelist, sorry, got distracted by Vanriel there, but the Duelist class's main issue is that it doesn't have a lot of AoE, which is kind of what makes dungeons go fast in this game. So the more popular classes have quite a bit more AoE. That being said, Duelist has like a really long lead up to an extremely powerful one-hit attack that is probably pretty good if you're a weaker player, because you can build up so much bonus damage and then release it all at once. But once you get to later game, like once you've got higher equipment and higher archive and whatnot, you're never going to be fighting anything for long enough to build up all those stacks. So it's a bit of an odd duck in terms of the way that the meta developed in the game. In the same way that Bo was. Bo was a bit of an odd duck. Resident Emblem, Happy New Year! And I'm going to ask you the same thing I ask everybody. Is it already 2026 where you are? Oof. We still have an hour in Aura Kingdom time. Come on, we gotta be close. Yes, we have a 1,431 Dragon Point left. Eastern time. Yes, the old Aura Kingdom time. They didn't change it for daylight this year again. Hold on, another piece of chicken. Oh. Enough pain to black out, eh? That sounds pretty bad. I certainly hope that a back is not that bad. Since I've kind of already got my heart set on something in terms of a tattoo. Korean fried chicken was not the plan for tonight. But yeah, so like we were originally gonna have poke for dinner because it sounded nice and refreshing and good for staying up late. But then we looked and the poke place closed at 12 noon. Not ideal. Which is funny because technically today's not a... Wait, what do you mean? How can that not be the plan for every night? Poke? Or Korean fried chicken. Man, if I could afford Korean fried chicken every day, if I had a lifestyle that would allow me to afford that, you better believe I'd be all over that. I mean, it's got all of your important food groups, right? You've got the you've got grains in the batter and chicken in the chicken and vegetables in the copious amounts of green onion on top. And who can forget the potatoes in the fries? It's a completely well-rounded meal, especially when served with a cup of coffee, which I am currently holding up in my hands, but I don't have anything rigged for that. So, cheers to the dairy. Every food group is covered in this meal. That means it's healthy. Yeah, I consider myself to be a bit of a foodie too, but my ambitions towards food are so much higher than my wallet can afford. And that's not it's not talking about how poor I am, it's talking about how hungry I am. Oh gosh, so like... Are you familiar with what kaiseki is? Like, I am super hype. Because one of the places we're staying at in Japan is like this really fancy place that's going to do a kaiseki dinner. And right after we booked it, they sent an email being like, oh yeah, we're totally having Wagyu beef as the main course of the kaiseki on the day that you're coming. So, don't be allergic to that, is basically what it broke down to. But basically it's like a table full of like really small dishes that you can try a whole bunch of different things. So it's kind of like, I suppose you could call it the equivalent of like appetizers for a meal. And there's a place in downtown Vancouver that does it as well, but they charge like $500 a plate, like a setting, and you have to pay for each person. You can't just like, I'll take one and then share it among multiple people, right? So if I had infinite resources, I would not have infinite resources long because I'd be spending it on trying all sorts of interesting food, right? That's Vancouver, though. Vancouver's crazy. Oh, hold on. Oh, someone's bragging to me about beating the Genshindle. Oh, I haven't done Genshindle in a while. Maybe I should try that. My chicken is getting cold, though. Oh. I mean, we are done. Oh, don't spoil it, Blinko! Is that, Dekina, is that pretty standard for how long it takes for a tattoo to heal? Like a month? Really? I mean, I guess it is like tiny little cuts, right, with the needles? I guess it makes sense. Do I break my cardinal rule and run one paragon? Let's see, on the first row, you're only going to get those two. Second row, those two. Third row, fourth row. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it's going to be a very good paragon, so I'm going to roll ruby coins once, just to prove that you shouldn't. Yes, as expected, as expected. As expected. As expected. I mean, yeah, it's not great. As expected. Yeah, I don't need superior accessory for it. So there you go. Now you know not to roll the paragon because I've shown you by example. You're going to get this row or this row. So totally worth rolling if you want super costume enchantment cards. I got enough of those. Oh yeah. Is this a person saying hello? With a scented tear? Alright, we're off to noon. Because we are gonna attempt the Holy Abyss again, because I still haven't beaten it. And as I said, I got some new resources that I'd like to check out and see whether or not there'll be enough to make it happen, because I'm so close. I am so close to getting the last boss to spawn. Oh, I'm supposed to jump with them. Anyway, I do want to eat my dinner though, so... Hey, hold on a second. No, for a second, I thought it took 200 RC. I don't know why, my brain just suddenly thought that happened. Alright, and we're going to... Chronology. just like naturally holding up my hand between my mouth and the microphone, hoping that that decreases the amount of chewing sounds. I get the feeling it doesn't actually do anything. Okay, so that's not going to do anything for this character. There's my Navia Feast, and I've also got the Gigapede Ramen, so I have to compare them and see which one's actually better for buffs. I mean, obviously the Navia Noble Cuisine isn't going to be as good. Well, I've got 34 minutes left on my food here. Do I need to get more food? I think I do. Which doesn't even have a real knife. I mean, technically if I run in right away, it'd be fine. It would be enough time. Either that or I can switch to the triple strike. I use detail damage food for it. That's first level. I want second level. We're going to use a second level manual because last time I was using a first level and it wasn't enough. Yeah, I've already got those. Holy detail damage potions. Classmaster certificate level 9. I should put all this on another window so it's easier to see which buffs I've got. Okay, we're going to compare Gigapede Ramen and Navia Noble real quick. Move speed, crit damage. Oh, by a long shot, Gigapede Ramen wins. By a long shot. And we're going to use combo manual, temporary version. Yeah, that's probably fine to stick up there. I'm just going to quickly... let that eat all the loyalty points. We basically have one shot. I don't think I need that. Level 80 weapon enchantments aren't really worth anything. I've got plenty of Eidolon food on ult, so that's not necessary. Okay, then we'll throw the 10 ones in there. And we'll start gathering up buffs. Gigapede Ramen. Elemental cubes. I think that's everything in my inventory. Then all that's left is the receive 5% less damage from Holy Light. This is not really good for my element, but increased receive crit damage by 60%. I think that's better than any of the other contracts I have on hand. I'll just quickly sort that. Sort that. Sort that. Yeah, that should be good. And then we'll quickly grab our... no, not that one. Archive. Special. Boss damage. Actually, is boss damage really what I want to go for here? Yeah, no, I don't think we really want that one. Is that really the only two I have? Is the Grief and the Eerie? Alright. So we have our Storm damage buff, Missy. And then we have 2 immunity Eidolons, which I'll try to make use of. My detail damage food has only got 30 minutes left, but the timer's 15 minutes. So technically that should be enough to at least get to the last boss. And once the last boss is spawned, we are cooking with fire, as I like to say. We'll pop those. And in we go. I don't know. If this isn't enough, then I think I'll actually need to go, like, farm some more Eidolons or something. I am, I think, 2 fragments away from 4-starring Siren. I don't know that she'd help that much, though. Plus her fragments were way too expensive. She was on Paragon the other day, and the short fragments were still going for like 1,000. King Gigabead. Holy damage. Give me something good. It's just regular damage. It's not the worst. Actually, it is the worst because I literally have no damage. And I'm out of buffs. Super cool. That's cool. That's exactly what I wanted to do to start. Oh. Grocery store card. Bullet of concentration. We'll just buy a couple. Oh, and I didn't use my nightmare emblem either, so we'll quickly use that. I think that's basically the best I can do. My crit is rather pathetic. But it is what it is at this point. Crit damage bonus. I have 0 crit rate bonus against anything. My storm damage is only at 51%. I'm almost out of harming potions. I think this is the best I can do. If this still isn't enough. Oh shoot, what's going on here? As usual, the frame rate drops are kind of nuts. And that guy reset. We have to avoid resetting, so maybe we need to pull them a little closer in. And I probably shouldn't have charmed the guy with the most HP, because now he's going to be sitting around not taking any damage. Yeah, I don't even know if Rachel's going to be able to do anything here. Right, we do have to debuff with Ultraviolet Catastrophe, so we shouldn't completely knock that out here. I don't know if... Okay, so this increases damage taken from physical attributes and reduces defense, so I think that's worth using. But otherwise, it's really just my Storm Shot that's doing any damage. Literally can't look at anything other than my skill bar here. Why does it feel like my cooldown is so wrong on Sonic Bomb? I'm at cap speed still. Why is it like this? Oh, that's right. I was supposed to move my points from damage into crit. I feel like I'm not doing enough damage to the boss. Not even keeping my ballad stacks up properly. I am rusty. I've been doing too much easy stuff. Right, and I got no damage, so my other heals don't do anything either. Oh, Rachel saved me there. I guess I really gotta keep bringing her out. I use these, right? Honestly, these might be my actual healing in this. Converting to Shuri sub, I don't... Lord N, Happy New Year! Sorry, my brain is a little bit fried. Oh, no, not Siri. My phone just activated. It's Dawnlight, you're right. What's her name again? I forget. I was thinking Rachel because we got her free, right? Boy, Plinko, you don't have to say that. Alright, one down. Ready to suffer? Again. But these guys don't have knockback, so they'll be fine. Just gather them up and knock them down. Percival, right, Percival. My brain was kind of locked on, what's-her-face? Rachel, because we got the free key in the mail, right? Watch it be a different Eidolon I've got chilling in here. No, it is Rachel. See? No sweat when they don't have knockback. Now, that's 1/3 of my time gone. I think my major concern is yeah, it's crunchy for... Old Eidolon buffs? What do you mean by old Eidolon buffs? Alright, just gotta focus, keep Ballad up, and Ultraviolet Catastrophe. I think they did a really good job of designing the Eidolons in this game, frankly. Even though most of them are just pretty ladies, they are quite pretty. If you want percent heals from an Eidolon, my go-to is, what's her face? Iwanaga Hime. Okay, I feel better about that. I was doing a much better job of keeping Ballad and Ultraviolet Catastrophe up. And Rachel, or sorry, Rachel, Percival also didn't die. Kind of wish you could see how much was left on your Ballad stacks here as well. Like the timing wise. Alright. The suffering moment. Yeah, the suffering begins. No, no, don't kill me. No! No! Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Buy those things. Wait, no. Yeah, now it's getting crunchy again. Come on. didn't get the heal out before she died. And quickly get one of you guys charmed so I can still damage you without getting knocked back. Oh no, they're getting kind of close to the end here. The knockback wouldn't be as annoying if they didn't have reset zones in the corners of the room. Right, so we gotta be careful not to let them go into the corners of the room, which they're about to do. Come on. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh, no. They're not resetting, are they? They did. No. I mean, I don't control them when they're charmed, right? They just vibin'. And this is very crunchy. It does not make it easier. Come on, guys. I have 5 minutes to finish these guys, plus the next boss and the next wave. We're on the last one, though. But the last wave is just crunchy. It doesn't have knockback. So it's really just my performance on the boss. And hoping it doesn't get, like, too crunchy. Oh my gosh, why do these guys have to be like this? Okay, boss chest. Epoch Ballad. Sonic Bomb. And Ultraviolet. And every once in a while throw in a Precision. I don't know if that defense helps at all. And don't get sloppy with my HP because we're not exactly healing. No, she died the second I spawned her. I don't know that we're gonna get any of her help anymore. "12 minutes. I have 3 minutes. I'm not making it, guys. I tried everything and it wasn't enough." The good thing is my Gigapede Ramen will last even when I'm not online. So when I'm not online, it doesn't count down. So it's not the end of the line. Oh, I can't use these. I was gonna say I'll just use the Triple Strike food and see if it helps. So, Vanriel, I'm pretty confident that the reason why it does that is because there was a character limit to the descriptions of things in Chinese, and obviously they can fit a lot more in less characters using Chinese. So my theory is that when they ended up doing like a some kind of patch, they accidentally did a character limit. So anything that hasn't changed since the character limit was implemented, unfortunately, was restricted, and at some point they did manage to make things longer again, because like Bard got reworked and it has a full description here. But classes that haven't been reworked since that, they're kind of toast. All right, now you guys do not have knockback, so all I gotta do is get you somewhere where I can hurt you, and then I gotta hurt you, and try not to die. Well, this is one of the request songs. No, the try not to die part. Maybe we take the pressure off anyway, eh? Come on. Just be my year-end miracle. This is so crunchy though. Why is this dungeon so poorly optimized? If only the timer slowed down as much as the game did. The Abyss of Light has been completely closed. I don't really want to keep fighting these guys. I don't like them. So we're gonna fight through the next easier version to improve my morale, and then we're gonna head to Navia, I think. Here's my chicken. Come and get it, guys. Oh, I don't want to have to make a holy freaking I don't want to make a holy jest. Let's just put it that way. I know typically the triple strike food is better, but I'm so used to having quite low detail damage, like comparatively low to other endgame players, that I gravitated towards using the detail damage foods. I'm wondering whether or not I've gotten to the point where I'd actually be able to do better with the triple strike food. Oh, that's already done. Man, you see how much easier that is? But yeah, I wonder if I've gotten to the point where it would actually be better for me to use the triple strike food, because I have been putting a lot of effort into my Eidolon archive. I guess my only concern is that those extra hits might actually make it a lot worse for the, what do you call it? Might make it significantly worse for the lag on those upper levels, right? This is such a cakewalk comparatively, though. Is that it? We're done? Yeah. I want to do that, but in the hard mode. Ah! Drop the piece of chicken. Hmm. I don't know if Persephone would be better. I feel like I'd have to reroll Persephone to be a storm damage Eidolon specifically, and right now she's a fire damage Eidolon. Because obviously, she's not helping me with on-field damage when she keeps dying. All I'm getting are her buffs. So if I were to re-roll Persephone to storm damage, which seems like it might be a bit too expensive of an endeavor, might be possible. Part of me is like, if I had logged in during the incident, I could have gone to I could have got my hands on those really nice accessories, then headed straight for the abyss, beaten it with the new accessories, and lost them and just been happy that I completed it and got the achievement finally. I don't even know where I'm at on the achievement ranking anymore. Am I still even on there? Oh, look at that. I'm 24th. Quite a gap. Quite a gap to get to the next one. But the person below me is pretty close. 24th on the server, huh? I mean, it feels like it's a little early to just go chill in Navia, but that's what I'm going to do because I do have food that I need to eat here. So I did ask about the Marina event in Navia. And the way it sounded was that they intended that it would run at midnight, the players' time. Like different players would be able to see it at midnight their own time. They just said, the way that it was explained to me was it was intended to run at different times for each player. But the other night, I was in Navia just goofing around when I saw her spawn at midnight, so I take it she'll spawn again today. And the buff was just a nice little... The buff that she provided was detail damage. Uh-oh. I have to check something on my scrub account, because I was on my scrub account when she spawned the last time. If her buff lasts even while offline, so that you can carry it with you for a little while, Noon needs to get it. So, don't mind me. I'm just going to quickly hop over into Scrub's account. I would have noticed if it was still there. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, no, it's gone. I would have 100% noticed if it was still there. I was just thinking that if the buff lasted, then I'd need it on Noon for her next attempts, because I want as much possible buffs as I can possibly do. Honestly, it might be better to try when I'm not live streaming. Not that I think that will help much, but it might help a little bit with the crunchy, with the crunchiness of it. That's not my password. Apparently that's not my password either. All right, we're going to start the new year off on the right foot as midday, of course. And then I think we need to... This music doesn't have New Year's energy. Well, neither does this, but whatever. Do I have my nice kimono handy? No, I don't actually. Where'd my nice kimono go? There it is. There we go. My New Year's digs. It's pretty good, eh? But I do need to enjoy my chicken. It's already cold. It still tastes good even when it's cold, but I'm sure it would have been better if it had been fresh, eh? Oh. 14 minutes to go. So, typically, I mean, it's actually going to be quite early my time. It's only going to be 8 o'clock for, as I said, I'm a West Coast person celebrating an East Coast New Year's. I'm probably going to go play Final Fantasy 15 after, which is what I do every year, is I ring in the new year with some Final Fantasy 15. But I think I'm not going to stream that. I'm just going to settle down on the couch and in the living room and put it on the big screen and think, man, that game's already over a decade old, eh? I actually remember quite distinctly when I grabbed it because I went to the GameStop. Well, actually, it's called EB Games in Canada, but I went to the EB Games. And it was like 2 days before Christmas or something like that. Maybe it was the day before Christmas. Because my friend and I had decided very last minute, yeah, you know what, we are going to go halfsies on the Final Fantasy 15 console. So I went in, like, day before Christmas, big lineup to get to the counter, but the fancy console, they were all hidden up at the very, very top shelf of the store. Like, I don't know if you guys have been in those, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's different now, but like basically they have floor to ceiling shelves full of games. This is before those pop figures were popular, or before anybody thought it was important to have like space between objects inside the store. So it was jam-packed full of just boxes of games, and there was the Final Fantasy 15 Special Edition console on the very top shelf. So I line up without grabbing anything, and you know, a couple staff members ask, "Oh, you need any help with anything?" Nah, no, I'm good. I want something behind the counter. So I get up to the front and I point up and I said, "I want that." And the guy has to go get a ladder to get it down, of course. But then the lady behind me in the store just kind of threw a bit of a hissy fit over the fact that I was buying a console. Like a kids these days kind of hissy fit. Like, oh, kids these days spending that much money on a console. And it's like, you are equally in a store shopping for gifts for somebody, I'm sure. So, what's it to you if I buy a console that you weren't planning on buying? And I think I've told that story before, but thinking back, I wonder if she was just pissed off that I made them go get a ladder. Like, hey man, not my fault they put the one thing that I wanted on the absolute top shelf because they didn't think anyone was going to buy it. It's still kicking, that console. It's gorgeous too. It's got the console itself has the moon on it, and it's got in gold text Final Fantasy 15 in the middle. It's beautiful. Love that thing. But yeah, we were, it was supposed to be my first ever, sorry, I think it was my first ever live stream, but basically, the friend that I was supposed to go halfsies, we were just gonna, like, pass it back and forth kind of thing, she got super sick. So I ended up doing my very first live stream using the PlayStation 4's, like, direct live streaming feature. I don't even remember how it worked, but I seem to remember that's what it was, because at that time my computer couldn't handle live streams at all, and I didn't have a capture card. 100% didn't have a capture card, because I got that later. And then the first time I tried to stream using the capture card, I found out that my computer couldn't do streaming. But yeah, no, that was first ever stream, just vibing out on the couch. And I'm pretty sure my friend was texting me rather than using the it must have been Twitch. It must have been through Twitch. He had a Twitch account, and then you live streamed directly from the console. Yeah. But yeah, so since then, basically, right around the new year, I get this hankering to play Final Fantasy 15. So, the funny thing is, actually, for some reason, I don't even know why, I also bought the PC version. I was probably thinking that the console itself wasn't going to last forever and that I should have another copy of it. And it was on sale, so I just grabbed it. I even updated that just in case I wanted to continue streaming, but I think I should probably just have a nice quiet evening with my Final Fantasy the way I always do. I feel like I want to pick a specific song for New Year's. Oh look, we have some people showing up. Oh, it's I was gonna say, hold on, it's Mina, but that's actually just somebody's contract. There should be a bit of an event here. If I'm correct, and that the New Year's party is the thing that is gonna show up here. My face kind of hurts from smiling too much too. Oh. You know, it's kind of sad that I have such distinct memories of someone being so miserable to me on one instance. And now that comes to mind every time New Year's rolls around is, man, that lady had a bee in her bonnet over kids being able to afford things. Maybe I just gotta let it go, eh? Actually, now that I think about it, maybe I'll change it up and watch the movie instead. Watch the movie and then put on the game and start from the beginning. Or do I play from the beginning, put on the movie when it gets to that part of the game, and then continue the game? I don't know if I have enough hours for that. So many ridiculous things I could do. Yeah. Did I just get hit by a car? Did I get my place, I'll be a coffee vendor here for the New Year's event? Kind of hard to look up, huh? Five more minutes, eh? Well, sure been a year, huh? Man, I wish I upgraded my PC when I thought about it earlier this year. Let's see, what happened? First thing that happened this year was I got my first... I think the first thing that happened was I got my first check from YouTube. And it was insane and crazy. And I kind of cried the day that I got the thing. Because it was pretty insane. The second thing that happened was I was able to get into a video on the LTT channel. And it was by no merit of my own. It was merely being in the right place at the right time. They asked for people that were local enough to visit them. Car crash. And I happened to be local enough to visit them. And probably one of the only females that applied. I was parked. If the insurance comes for us, it's them. Anyway, what happened after that? I mean, it took quite a while to get from the recording of the LTT video to when it published, so that was a real anxious time because I didn't want to say anything about it. Until it happened. We're having a little traffic jam here. I had some pretty heavy stuff that I went through from, well, for most of spring. They're caught saying I crashed into them. I did not. I was parked. I'm selling coffee. You hit me. Then in the summer, War Kingdom Impact came out, and we had some pretty darn crazy live streams around that time too. And I did have a lot of fun with War Kingdom Impact. And because of the community, I won a gift card, which I still haven't actually spent the money from entirely. I've still got like quite a bit left from that, so I can't thank the community enough for being, or for allowing me the opportunity to sit on a gift card while I stare and wait for Steam gift card or Steam sales. Oh gosh, Xenoblade Chronicles X came out too. That was a big one. A game that I wanted to play for so freaking long. I've actually started playing Expedition 33 again. I kind of didn't like playing it on a computer screen, so I put it up on I moved my PC out and I played it on the main TV screen in our house, and I really enjoy playing it, but it definitely needs a big screen. I opened up memberships specifically because YouTube said they'd pay me a lot of money if I did, even if nobody signed up. And a couple people did sign up, which was crazy, and I appreciate it so much. But I also got the money from YouTube, so I'm like, yeah, now I can use it to buy something. And I can't wait to share what that thing that I'm going to buy with it is. Oh, they're just going on in the Misk chat here. Oh gosh, that's going to be so exciting. That's coming up in 2026. I also started a second channel where I've been doing, I wouldn't call it ASMR content, but I'm making a radio show just to to share video game music that I really like and tell a little bit of a story that's leading somewhere that I'm very excited about as well. And also I got a new job. I quit my job in the summer and got a new one. It's pretty crazy. So, yeah. 2025, eh? Coffee shop. Watch your not spawn. There we go. 1 minute till the new year. Oh, we got the countdown. Do I actually have any coffee in my inventory I can sell them? Oh no, it's in my bank. I don't think I have any fireworks bags either. Oh, I could have been so much better prepared. I've got one firework. Yeah, it's been a year. But next year's gonna be a good one. I can't wait till you guys see what I got planned. Regardless. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. 2025 is gone. I could have put on slightly more hype music, but I guess it's kind of funny that they didn't spawn all the Eidolons. The other night, when we were out here, there was like a field of Eidolons that spawned. They should have done that for New Year's Day. But it is what it is. Oh. I still have 2 pieces of chicken left. I wonder if it was actually random which days they decided to do the New Year's party on. Because it felt like it really should have been today, but at least we got to see fireworks, am I right? Last year, I went and stood on top of a building, and it spawned on the ground, so I didn't even get to see the fireworks. But yeah, that is gonna be it for today. I got up early. I never got a nap. Oh. Home. Oh. Gosh, I didn't even have World Chat open to see what people are saying. They didn't change the Paragon either, did they? No. But yeah, that is going to be it for tonight. So thank you so much for joining me on a very, very relaxing, chill hangout RC grind. Oh wait, we should double check the... Oh, interesting. This is still last month's. Usually on the 1st of the month it shows the new one right away. Maybe it won't show until 1 o'clock or something. Are these the kids that were screwing around with the car? Oh gosh, that's why we don't let kids drive. But that is it. So thanks so much for stopping by and joining me for the New Year in Aura Kingdom. I am going to go play Final Fantasy 15 until I am too sleepy to stay awake. So, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.